Okay, so the next part of the activity asked you to go to Desmos and add each equation to a new graph. Desmos.com. And then it says add 5 values of x to each graph. You can choose any 5 values, but they must be the same for each boat. All right, so heading on over to Desmos, I've already signed in over here. And let's go ahead and add our boat equations to our graph. So boat number 1, its distance, which we were going to put on the y-axis, its distance was equal to 20 times the hours, which was x. So clicking on this little settings gear here, choose table, and I'm going to choose x is hours, so I'm going to choose some random ones. Let's say 5 hours, and then I'll choose 7 hours, 9 hours, 11 hours, and just 15. Okay, that's boat number 1, and he's black right now. You can change the color if you like. Boat number 2, its distance, which was y, was determined by 35 times the hours. The settings, and I have to choose the same values here. So I'm going to choose 5 for x, 5 hours, 7 hours, 9 hours, 11 hours, and 15. You can choose any that you like. And our third boat here, number 3. Our third boat, its distance was determined by 25 times the amount of hours. Settings, and 5, 7, 9, 11, and 15. See, you've done. Okay, so let's take a look at the last couple of questions. What do you notice about each boat's graph? Well, I can notice that they are going quite fast. They're covering a lot of distance over a short amount of time. I can see that they're quite steep. I might need to zoom in, and you can use the zoom button on the side. Notice when you zoom in, the axes down the bottom, the x-axis and the y-axis, their values change. So we had 5 down the bottom here. If we zoom out, that becomes 10 and 20. Okay, so that's one way that you can zoom around here. Okay, so what do you notice about these graphs? Write your own answer there. The next question was, which boat has the faster speed? Well, we can determine that by our graph here. It's the one who is going to have the steepest line, which is our green boat here. All right, which was, I think, boat number 2. The green boat there. Okay, after 15 hours, how far has each boat traveled? You could also put this value in the x column of your table, and I actually did that before. And so my x column of my table actually has how far each boat has traveled. After 15 hours, boat number 3 here has traveled 375 miles. I could also find that on my x-axis here. Here's 15. And if I go all the way up until where that 15 is going to meet the line, keep going up, 15. I'm looking for the red one. The red one meets right there. Okay, 15 meets at 375 miles. I can also look at my table here. The green one is going to meet at 525, and the black one we saw just before met at 300 miles. If I zoom back down, there's my black dot there. There's the boat after 15 hours. It's traveled 300 miles. And the last question was, how long does it take each boat to travel 120 miles? That question has actually changed since I filmed, and it's now 840. So how long does it take each boat to travel 840 miles? Well, we need to find 840 miles on our axis, which is our y-axis, which is the distance. So let's keep zooming up. Notice how my y-axis is zooming up. I might zoom out a little bit to make it easier. And I'm looking for 840. Almost there. There's 840 miles right there. Zooming in a little bit. There we go. And 840 miles. So the green one, now I need to count. Here's 840 miles. The green one is boat number 2. And I can see here that it meets the line at 24 hours. So boat number green, which was, I think, boat number 2. Boat 2 is 24 hours. Let's take a look at the next boat, which was the red boat. Boat number 3, 840. I zoom across here, and it meets halfway in between 33 and 34. So let's say 33 and a half hours. It takes boat number 3 33 and a half hours. And boat number 1 reaches 840 miles. Let's take a look. There's that black line here. And let's see where those meet. 41 hours. Okay. So we can also tell here that boat number 2 is going to reach 840 miles a lot quicker than any other boat. Okay, so how did you find this activity? Let me know. And make sure you post all of your answers to Google Classroom.